All right, I'm back. I continue here. Really, the first part of this episode, I'm just kind of placing random things around. Sometimes I get into this kind of drone where I kind of get tired of just doing things like, especially on a big build like this, like just the layouts. So I kind of try to get inspiration back by placing little things and kind of drawing from that. Kind of like those stockades, this bell tower that I talked about earlier. Just kind of because it kind of helps me bring back the theme. So here in this episode, I kind of work on some minor details in the building where I start deleting stuff to kind of help break up the monotony of the build and make it look less repetitive. So here I'm putting like a door into this tower, but actually later on I changed that into a restroom because, as you'll see, I make this whole kind of fort more interactable with guests, where I actually put paths and everything through so people can walk up into the fort. I put a couple shops in, things like that. So I'll kind of leave you the time lapse, and again, I'll kind of pop in and I'll kind of pop in whenever I have something interesting to say. So I built that kind of little captain's hut or whatever up at the top of the fortress, and I liked how that kind of helped break up the coloring of the kind of stark brown kind of sandstone fort. So down here I decided on this little battlement to put another kind of building similar to that, which I actually just copy and paste a lot of the same elements from that and put it down here. But I think the kind of orange terracotta roof helps throw a splash of color in there, especially with like the wood and everything. It seems like it could be some kind of like bunkhouse for the sailors or the people that are in charge of manning the fort, to sleep in. So that's what I do here. I kind of play with it, a couple different ideas, and then I go into this design element where I like to use these quarter columns and then fill in with these little balcony pieces in the inside to kind of add more depth, but to be able to use a little less pieces than I would normally, and then kind of get different textures in there, and they make a nice little area for me to put windows in, things like that. I wanted to take a moment and thank everybody that's actually been watching. Um, Honestly, it's I wasn't really doing this for the views. It's just something to do. I used to do video editing and things like that, making little short videos in school, and I really liked it. So I kind of wanted to get back into it. And I figured I was playing Planet Coaster anyways, so this would be kind of a good excuse maybe to kind of get back into that old habit of using Premiere and recording and things like that. So I just decided to, two birds, one stone. So I do really appreciate the people that have been commenting and giving me the well wishes and everything. I appreciate it. That's nice. I know my pal Alex tweeted out one of my videos, which was crazy. So everybody that came via him, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna keep doing this kind of stuff. I don't know. I might play other games. It just depends. If you have any suggestions, things like that, let me know. But for the most part, I kind of play simulator games like this. Some other stuff. I did some Minecraft back in the day, things like that. But I'll probably keep building on this build. Hopefully I can get farther along. Like as of recording this voiceover, I've actually gone back into this park and kind of just like added some more details like rocks and trees and things around, and kind of sorted out some of the layout and went back and just cleaned up some details and stuff. So once I get like this current batch of footage uploaded and everything, I'll get back in, I'll record some more. And since I've done a few of these videos now, I kind of have a better system going, and I kind of know what would look better going forward. So hopefully it just gets better as I go along. So bear with me. Here I'm building a gatehouse because I was like, oh, I have this really cool pirate fortress, but how do you get into it? So that's what I'm doing here. I'm actually building kind of the drawbridge, how people would get into it. And my plan is kind of have a big like dock off the front that kind of hangs over the water, maybe have a waterfall coming down off that hill behind the pirate fortress. I play with a few ideas here, still using those same pieces. That's kind of why I like building this way, because even if it's the same piece, I can delete things or change simple things, but I still kind of have that skeleton to kind of rely on for the build and save a lot of time. So I try to find a good place for it to sit, which, first I'm like, well, it probably needs a floor. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing here. I do end up putting it like kind of right on the side of the building there, and of course a lot of stuff is overlapping there, and I just go in and delete all that stuff. This is about the time I'm like, you know what? It would be really cool if I could put pathing through here, and guests of the park could like walk up and go through the fort, zoom through those corridors like I liked doing. So this is really frustrating to watch back, but gosh, I was so frustrated when I was trying to place these paths. I'm getting better at paths, but yeah, it's kind of a pain at some point. Some points in this video, watching me struggle with this. In retrospect, I should have edited some of this out, but being able to select the grid that you build on is nice for paths. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, because you can kind of make sure it snaps to those like pieces that are on the floor. So at this point I was thinking about making like a bigger tower here, even bigger than the other towers that I had, to kind of envelop this stairwell here. In the end I thought it was kind of unnecessary, and my idea for behind the fort is to add like a big mountain with a bunch of like jungle type trees. So I just thought it would look too clunky, the sight lines would be off. So in the end I just went with this little battlement off to the side, and then just like a continuation of the battlement up top to kind of go around this. And then I'll probably build up rocks and stuff around the back there. And then have some railings going around, so you kind of just walk up out of the corridor onto this upper level. And of course I have to zoom down the corridors. I don't know why, I just really like doing that. So apologies if that's really disorienting. I get it. But I probably do it a few more times, who knows. So I was trying this railing, and then I was like, that looks too nice. I just thought it looked too detailed, or like not a crusty old pirate fortress style. So I went with these a little bit, and I was like, yeah, that still looks weird with the different textures. And then I went with this kind of more triangular railing top, and then I thought that looked good, so I went with. Alright, so here's where I start working on the bathroom. I realized like that's just like a random door, but if I could have an actual thing there, that'd be way more useful. And it kind of helps draw people up to this upper level, so that you know, when the park's open, people will be walking around the fort, and I thought that'd be really nice. So I thought the blue tile wouldn't really fit in here, so I will go through and mask that, and I covered the bottom with this like sandstone block here. Just copy it around so it looks more like a bigger tile. Encase the side there so you don't see through into the tower. And then to cover up these side walls, I believe I use these kind of plank pieces. Just kind of sink it in there. So I thought about copying and pasting that bathroom that I just did there. That's what I was doing here. Grab the whole chunk and then delete everything else except the bathroom. I was going to take it over to that other tower, but once I pasted in, I realized that it kind of encroaches in the path underneath, and I thought that looked weird, so I got rid of it. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching again, and leave a like and subscribe.